the reason why affirmative action must be abolished in South Africa. The supporters of affirmative action argue that affirmative action is necessary to address the past inequalities. Of course, during apartheid, all citizens of South Africa were paying tax, but the benefits of those taxes were only going for white people, to white people. White people were the only ones who were getting tenures. They were the only ones who were getting better paying jobs. White people were the only ones who were getting promoted. That was the reason why we say we are being oppressed. Essentially, that is what oppression was all about. It was about us paying tax for which we didn't get any benefit from. But today, we are all paying tax as we were doing before. While we pay tax, not all of us are receiving the benefits of those taxes. The argument is that it's only white people who must be excluded by affirmative action because they were benefiting before. But if you check, it's only the members of the ruling party who qualify for tenders, for government tenders. It's members of the ruling party who qualify for better paying jobs. It's members of the ruling party who qualify for promotion. So essentially, members of the ruling party are in the position which white people were in before. And the rest of the people, black people who are not members of the ruling party, are in the same situation where they were during apartheid. The situation whereby they are paying tax but they don't receive services for their tax. Basically, all other black people are being oppressed who are not members of the ruling party. Because during apartheid, we say we were being oppressed because we were paying tax and we were not receiving government tenders, we were not getting better paying jobs, we didn't qualify for promotions, simply because we have black skin color. Now, there are black people who don't qualify for tenders, government tenders. There are black people who don't qualify for better paying jobs. There are black people who don't qualify for promotion, simply because they are not members of the ruling party. So, which means, just as apartheid was oppressing black people because they were black, they were not white. The present government is oppressing black people because they are not members of the ruling party. They say affirmative action is necessary to address the past injustice, the past inequality. Yet, we see white people who are the members of the ruling party benefiting by getting government tenders. We see white people who are members of the ruling party getting better paying jobs. We see white people who are members of the ruling party benefiting by getting promotion. Is it because they didn't benefit before during apartheid? Was there any white person who wasn't benefiting? Some of them, they were working for National Party, but today they are ministers. Does that mean that they didn't benefit? Where is that affirmative action? Where is that inequality that needs to be addressed? Is it only applicable to members of the AWB or other white opposition? Because if you want to be equitably, you must affirmative action must benefit black people, irrespective of what party you belong to, whether you are a member of the ruling party or not. Because apartheid was not oppressing only the members of the ruling party. Apartheid was oppressing all black people. And all black people are still paying tax today. So why doesn't other black people qualify for the benefit of affirmative action? Why are still black people who are excluded from government tenders simply because they're not members of the ruling party? Why are still there a black man who doesn't qualify for better paying job simply because he's not a member of the ruling party? Why is there still a black person who doesn't qualify for promotion simply because he's not a member of the ruling party? This means that black people who are not members of the ruling party are still being oppressed because they are still being treated the same way as they were treated during apartheid. Right now, we've got a situation whereby a person who is not qualified or who is least qualified, a person who's not able to do a certain job, is being appointed to do that job simply because it's a card-carrying member of the ruling party. That is exactly what apartheid was doing, whereby it was putting what people who didn't qualify, who were not able to do work during apartheid simply because they were white. Apartheid today is being used to exclude black people who are not members of the ruling party for the benefit of the members of the ruling party. Apartheid is not, affirmative action is not used to address the past imbalances, because otherwise there won't be a white man with a minister, there won't be a white man with a DG. Affirmative action is being used to oppress black people who are not members of the ruling party. That is why affirmative action needs to be scrapped. That is why affirmative action needs to be abolished in South Africa, because it's being used to oppress black people. Apartheid, affirmative action is said to be used to address past injustice, but the only what people who are excluded from for benefit of affirmative action are the white members of the opposition parties. White members of the ruling party are not excluded. Black members of the opposition are excluded. White members of the ruling party are not excluded from the affirmative action, whereas black members of the opposition are excluded. Whereas black members of the opposition oppressed by apartheid, the very same way black members of the ruling party were oppressed. Didn't we fight together? Was apartheid oppressing only the members of the ruling party? Today we've got members of the police, former police who are members of the ruling party who are benefiting. Today we've got members of the white people who are benefiting simply because they are members of the ruling party. So that this alone renders affirmative action useless. The efforts of affirmative action are futile, because affirmative action is just an instrument to oppress black people who are not members of the ruling party. Affirmative action must be abolished immediately. We must be treated equally, black and white. We are all paying taxes, irrespective of color and creed, irrespective of language, irrespective of color of the skin. We must be treated equally. Affirmative action is not addressing the past imbalances. Affirmative action is being used to oppress black people who are not members of the ruling party. Affirmative action must be abolished immediately.